Hey beautiful souls, David Essery here. I thought I'd take you on a little adventure with me today where we can just kind of walk and talk. I have to admit, when I started this year, one of my New Year's resolutions was to get out and film more. And I was always like, there's certain things that I want to be able to do this right. I wanted to have the right technology in my hands so that I could film it so I wasn't bouncing around everywhere making you guys feel nauseous. And I wanted to have the right footwear because it gets very wet and very muddy around here. And I procrastinated and it's now December. And I don't think I've done it a single time this year, maybe once. But hey, I'm here now and I've got myself all kitted out. And I guess this is going to become my New Year's resolution for next year as well. But here we go, here we are. And I thought I'd just go on a little adventure this morning. I'm just going for a walk through my local nature reserve. It's such a beautiful day today, so I just thought it was a good place to start. So I thought I'd talk about today. We all know we've just gone through an absolutely momentous shift and we're still continuing to do so. We are a week away from the solstice now today, and the energies are just exceptional at the moment. The vibration that we are at, the opportunities that are available are just incredible. And we have all come so far, just so far over this last year. Honestly, it's been a remarkable journey, and you guys have just been absolutely amazing. Honest to God, you guys are awesome. And you have come so far and you have worked so hard to get to where you are today. And that is such an incredible thing. And you should be very, very proud of yourselves for it, for all that you've achieved. You really should do. That's better. That's a bit of a better camera angle, isn't it? I'm learning as I go. So, and this is all happening, this is all part of the process for where we're going to get to as we are now moving into this next chapter of the journey. We've talked a lot about the collapse of the third dimension and the next phase of the awakening journey as more and more people are waking up. And for many of us, or all of us here really, we're kind of like the first phase of the awakening journey. I'm just going to flip you around so you can see where I'm walking through here because it's so beautiful. I'm going to go back and forth a little bit as we walk and talk. And, a big part of the reason why we are here right now, why we have gone through this awakening, all that we have worked towards to get us to where we are right now, is so that we can be there, we can be ready to assist those that are coming up in the next phase, those that perhaps haven't done this multiple lifetimes before and are going to need a little bit more support and hand-holding through it. And that really means that what we've been doing to get to this point is to get ourselves into a position so that we are ready to help others, so that we can fulfill the roles that we incarnated for in this lifetime, because this is without a doubt a master lifetime. And all of us, we all come into this with certain missions, plans, preparations, things that we need to do in this lifetime. But reserved for this time period right now is a master pathway. This is the big one that we've been waiting for this ascension process, so that we could step into this and be of service. And this is the sort of thing that, all of the events of our lifetime have culminated together into this moment. And we're going to start having these moments where you're like, that thing that happened to me when I was 4 years old, that makes sense now, because it led me to that, which led me to that, which led me to that, which led me to where I am right now. Speaking of which, so I don't know how well this is going to come through. It's so bright, but oh, what a beautiful day. So the culmination of all this stuff has just led us to where we are, so that we can step onto this master pathway and be of service to those that are waking up now, in service to the new world that we are creating together, and the changes that are going to happen to make that happen. Because let's be honest, you know, a lot has got to change. A lot of work has to be done, and there has to be highly skilled individuals available to guide that process. Not just individuals that are, you know, well educated or anything like that, but people that are really working from the heart and working intuitively, guided by a higher order, if you know what I mean. And that's essentially what we're here for. That is our roles, each and every single one of us. And we're really coming to a time now where we are stepping into that. Let's stop again briefly for a moment and share this with you. So just coming up to the ocean. Yes, this is a golf course I'm walking right through the middle of. And I don't know about you guys, and be interested to hear, you know, your experiences as we're moving through December, preparing for 2025. I feel like I'm being prepared. I feel like I'm getting myself ready for the next phase of something new and exciting, something to come. And I feel like all of these pieces are starting to come together, like I'm getting my Wellington boots so I can come and trudge through the mud, and I'm getting my tech so I can sort my camera out, and all of these other different things so that I can be prepared for what's happening next. And I feel like this isn't just me, that this is a collective thing that's happening right now. People are being put in the places that they need to be. They're meeting the right people that they need to work with. They're gaining the knowledge, the experience, making the connections, getting the Wellington boots, whatever it is that you need to do your thing. It's really happening. So much has happened in this month for me and for my beautiful wife Leanne already. And it feels like it's just the beginning of something. And I honestly feel that this is a push in preparation for what's to come in 2025. And I believe that's going to be more and more people stepping into this master mission. And that doesn't mean, you know, jumping straight into a position where, I don't know, you're restructuring government or, you know, changing financial systems or anything like that. That might just be that you are taking a stand and you're beginning to shine your light to a slightly wider audience. It could be as simple as that. But whatever it is, it's the start of something. Just like I was saying earlier, you know, with this idea of events from our childhood all being interconnected. These moments that we're having now are interconnected into moving us into that position to get us doing the thing, whatever that's going to be. And I think it's going to be quite a whirlwind year in 2025 as we start to see these events unfolding. And that's going to be different for everyone. For some people, that is going to be stepping onto the main stage, if you will. For other people, that's just going to be, you know, it might even just be having a conversation with your unawakened friends or family where you really put yourself out there and are incredibly honest and truthful about it. But that may then lead you to, who knows, 10 years from now, talking to an auditorium of people. And these are just the moments that connect us. And it's got me thinking about my own path and my own journey that's got me to where I am today. And, you know, I'm not going to kid myself. I'm still very, very early in my journey. I'm well aware of that. And, you know, if you guys have been following me for a while now, I hope you'll know that all I try and do here really is just to talk from experience. You know, I'm very much on the same journey as you guys, and the only thing that I like to talk about is what I have experienced myself, in the hope that what I've been through will help others. And so I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about my journey, really. I don't open up, I don't talk about myself that much on this channel, and that's something, let's call that my other New Year's resolution for 2025, you know, because I want to be authentic as much as I can do, and it's not something that comes very easily to talk about myself, and part of that comes really from the probably my martyr self, where I kind of put myself first so I don't share my thing, if that makes sense. But I thought I'd just talk a little bit about how I got to where I am now, and I've been reflecting on that a lot this week. And really, well, okay, take it back to day one. In October 2011, so a year before the main Ascension process, October 29th, in fact, I ended up going to a party at one of my colleagues' house for Halloween. And I am not a party person. I'm a massive introvert. I generally, you know, I don't do sort of big people-y group type stuff or anything like that. But I was playing in a band at the time, and I had a gig the night before, and my mate, whose party it was, came to my gig, and I thought, oh God, I've got to go. My friend that was supposed to be coming with me bailed on me at the last minute, but I thought, okay, I'll just go for half an hour, and you know, and then leave, sneak out, no one's looking, kind of thing. And at this point in my life, I was asleep. I would say I was definitely agnostic. I would probably say I would have been an atheist if I wasn't afraid of getting something wrong, but definitely agnostic. My father had been going through an awakening process for someone who was definitely agnostic, and that kind of threw me through a loop. And so when all of that happened, I didn't necessarily see it in the greatest light, because I didn't understand it. And then, yeah, this party, October 29th, 2011, I met Leanne, my wife. And what was supposed to be me just being there for half an hour before bailing out, I was there until 6 a.m. We were chatting all night long. And then we went on our first date 3 days later, and we're sitting around in the bar just chatting, having a drink, and she got her crystals out of her pocket and started telling me about them. I'm just going to flip this back around just to show you where I am now. It's coming down on the beautiful ocean. I would climb down on the beach, but I may trip, making myself on camera. I'm not quite ready yet in these big boots, so we're just going to walk along the cliff top. So yeah, I met Leanne, and she started teaching me about crystals. And because it was Leanne, and because I fell deeply and madly in love pretty much there and then, I listened, you know. Where my dad was into crystals, where I was apprehensive about it before then, I listened to Leanne. And I think it was sort of April the next year, we went away for the weekend, and we went to Glastonbury. Neither of us had been there before. We went for the first time, and it opened my eyes. I'm not going to say that I had a massive awakening right there and then, but it opened my eyes. And that really was the start of my journey. Can't see anything on the camera here, so I don't know what you guys are seeing. I've just started to share a little bit of this slime with you. Up in the distance over there, that's the Isle of Wight. And that was really the kind of the beginning of my awakening process. And you know, before doing all of this stuff, I was working as a web developer, eventually a web designer, building websites for people. And through these kind of connections, through meeting people, working with them, you know, having sessions with these people, learning from these people, I ended up building a few websites for other spiritual people and got connected with them, and eventually met my brother Tim Wild. In fact, actually, I remember discovering his, well, yeah, funny thing, I'd never heard of him before. Leanne had never heard of him before. And one day we were going to go to a Mind, Body and Spirit fair hosted by the wonderful Jackie White in the New Forest down here. And we thought we'd go along, but just as we were having breakfast that morning, Leanne happened to spot a post, I think it was about crystals or dragons or something like that online, from Tim Wilde. We'd never ever heard him before, but we thought it was really interesting. We were like, okay, we'll look into that a little bit more later. Later that afternoon, we went off to this Mind, Body, Spirit fair, and we were just looking around the stalls, and there was an announcement over the tannoy saying the speaker was now going to be starting in the other hall, and Tim Wilde was presenting. We just couldn't believe it. It's one of those amazing synchronicities. So we went and saw Tim, met him very briefly earlier. I think we bought his book, his wonderful book with Diana Cooper. And that was that really. But I started watching his videos on YouTube and stuff like that. And I just knew I had to work, had to have some sessions with him, just had to do it. And at the time we didn't really have the funds to do it or anything like that. And I'd been looking at his website though, and God bless Tim, he probably won't mind me saying this. His old website was not the best, shall we say. And it was an area I had a lot of experience in. So I sent him a message and I said, would you trade some one-to-one sessions for a new website? And so that began. So my work with my brother Tim began, which turned out to be a big reawakening because we have worked together in many, many lifetimes, all the way back to the mountains. And, we were working, and I started assisting him in running his online workshops and developing platform and stuff like that to help him to do that. And one day he sent me a picture. He said, can you use this as my image for my next workshop? And bless him, the picture was about the size of a postage stamp. And it was for a full width banner across his website. And I was like, I'm sorry, bud, that just it won't work. It's not big enough. But I looked at it, and when I was at school, I took an A-level in, a GCSE in art. And I loved art, but I wasn't really a great painter or a great drawer. So I ended up getting through that course by doing digital art. We had one computer over in the corner, and I learned to do digital art on it. And when Tim sent me this picture, I looked at it and I was like, I reckon I could do that, I reckon I could create something like that. It was just for, a picture or an event. It wasn't like a big deal or anything like that. I thought, what, I'm going to have a go at this. So I created him a picture, and it's still available on my website. We sell prints of it. It's called From the Heart, and it's a picture of a golden ankh on a purple background. And Tim loved it, and God bless Tim. Tim is honestly the most encouraging person that you will ever meet in your life. And I don't think he gets enough credit for this particular aspect of himself. He's very well received these days. His YouTube channel, his Facebook channel are amazing. If you don't, check that out. Definitely do. Check him out, Tim Wilde, WHILD. But what he doesn't get enough credit for is the amount of time that he gives to other people that are coming up on the path, that, perhaps don't have the audience that he does. And he gives freely his time and introduces them to his audience so that they can grow. And that alone, Tim has done a remarkable service. Each of those people that he's help them grow to then go on and continue to grow themselves. And then the individuals that perhaps watch the videos of those people, and it just, on it goes. So Tim, I don't know if you're going to watch this, but if you do, I love you, bud, and thank you so much for that. And Tim encouraged me with this picture. He loved it. He shared it out on the page. And from there, I just kind of had a feeling to do a little bit more. I enjoyed doing it. I was like, okay, I'm going to do another one. And I did, I think what was my second piece of artwork, Echoes of the Universe. which is still one of my favourite pieces of artwork I've done to this day. And he continued to encourage me, and I just grew. After that, I got guided to create the chakra artwork that many of you have seen, of originally the 12 fifth dimensional chakras, and now the 15. And he encouraged me. And that was the first time, you know, before then I was like, okay, there's a nice picture that I can kind of see in my mind. And I'm going to share that, you know, because it looks nice. But for the first time, I channeled geometry for the very first time as part of the artwork for those chakra pictures. That was the first time I'd ever done it. And to be honest, I didn't even really plan to do it. It just happened. It just happened. And then things just kind of grew from there. But from that artwork, I finished the 12th piece and I shared them all to Tim. And he said to me, right, bud, when are we going to do a workshop to present these, to work with these? And I was like, I don't know. It's always something that I'd kind of wanted to do. I watched him doing the workshops and was thinking I'd love to do that. You know, I was starting to remember more. My awakening was continuing, was flowing. And God bless his heart, he suggested that we did a Lionsgate workshop together. I want to say that was, God, that might be 2018. Not 100% sure now. But so we did. And I was terrified. I'm not going to lie. But we wrote between us 15 meditations. 12 meditations. It was the 12th dimensional chakras back there. So we wrote 6 meditations each. And I think what was supposed to be an hour, maybe hour and a half workshop lasted about 2.5 hours. And God bless those of you that stayed with us for the whole thing. But it was amazing. And from there, Tim and I continued to work together. We started doing solstice workshops together. And that continued for a year or two of us just doing solstices. I wasn't doing anything else on my own apart from creating a bit of art. I created a Facebook page, started sharing my art on there. And God bless you, beautiful people. Some of you were asking about prints of my artwork. And eventually, it's a bit like builders really, not working on their own homes. I didn't really have a website, and I ended up throwing one together in about 2 hours. I wasn't very proud of, but it enabled me to start selling prints. I created the chakra card deck, which will come back one day. It will do. And again, loads of you beautiful people were really excited to work with that. Which again, I was so grateful. We ended up sending them all around the world, which still amazes me to this day. And eventually, from all of that, I worked up the nerve to run my own workshop solo. And I'm not going to lie, you know, I've always tried to be honest about my journey. I was absolutely terrified. And I'm not going to lie, since then, there's been loads and loads of situations where I've been absolutely terrified of putting myself out there, of judgment, of failing, of being burnt alive by an angry mob, because that's happened to me in quite a few lifetimes, and all sorts of other similar things, and all sorts of past life stuff started coming back to me as a result of that. And it was difficult. And honestly, I've lost track of the amount of leaps of faith that I've taken over this period of time. It's been one leap of faith after another. Challenges come up, initiations, periods of deep cleansing, of release, things from past lives coming back that I never even knew existed. Releasing and pushing forward. And it's led me to where I am here today. And I know I've kind of rambled on a little bit this morning. That was way more than I was intending on saying. But I just wanted to share my journey a little bit. Firstly, to chronicle it, but most importantly, I wanted to share that it began really with Tim asking me to create a bit of artwork for that workshop. Well, it began with meeting my wife. That was my awakening. That was the true beginning of it, and I will forever be grateful to the end of that. But really, in terms of me starting to put myself out there, it was thanks to Tim encouraging me, and of course my beautiful wife, always encouraging. Oh my God, thank you, dear, if you watch this, what you have done for believing in me, for having faith in me, for trusting me without livelihoods to follow my pursuit and my passion, my dream to do this work. I am forever grateful to you. I love you so much. Oh, I'm very reflective today, aren't I? But it started, doing that artwork for Tim was a pivotal moment in my process. And at the time, it was just like, I'm just going to do a picture for Tim. It wasn't, oh, I'm stepping on my path. This is my master mission. It wasn't, I'm going to, help people. It wasn't anything. It was just, I'm going to create a picture. And it turned out to be one of the most important decisions that I've made in my life. And it's led me through an avalanche of amazing experiences, a heart opening beyond measure, a ever-growing connection to my teams, to Melchizedek, to God, that's, continuing to evolve now. And I'm so excited to see what 2025 will bring. I know the state of the world is still a bit up and down, which of course is all part of the process. It's part of moving towards that place where we want to be. But there's going to be a lot of positivity that flows out of it. A lot. And we are going to see so many beautiful people stepping into their power. I can feel it. I'm getting excited just talking about it. I feel it deeply. I feel it in my solar plexus, interestingly. So many people stepping into their radiant selves. And, that might not be people talking about angels. That might not be people meditating. That might not be any of these things. It might just be people standing up, saying no. Or it might be people standing up and saying yes, we can. And the more people that do that, the more people will get behind them, the more people will find the courage to stand up themselves. And it really, it's going to be like a waterfall. It just grows and grows and perpetually flows. Until we change this world, until we create this new age that these beautiful, beautiful beings who guide us and support us and love us unconditionally, who have pushed us to our absolute breaking points over the past 12 years of this process. But that's what was needed to get us to where we are, and we're doing it. And I hope that maybe me sharing my journey, if anyone has actually bothered to stay for this long, I apologise, this is a way longer video than I expected. But if you've actually stayed with this, I hope maybe this helps someone else. Just take that little leap of faith, that to maybe accept an opportunity that maybe they were nervous about doing, or to open up and be truthful about their beliefs and their experiences so they may inspire another. Whatever it is, whatever your path brings, whether you are already on your master mission and 2025 is going to bring you to a new height with that, whether you're taking your very, very first steps into it, I don't know. But you are awesome. Did you know that? Do you know how amazing you are? How absolutely incredible you are? You are a perfect being. You are God manifested on earth. And there is nothing in this life that you cannot do. You have the power within you. You have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, you have the love in your heart. All we've got to do is take that leap. Maybe the leap after that, maybe the other leap after that. That's what happens sometimes. But you've got this. And we've got this. As we move into a new year through this beautiful solstice gateway, as we watch the sunset on 2024, let's move into this new world filled with love in our hearts, skip in our step. Let's become our master selves. Let's come together, one people united in truth and love. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. I share meditations, channel messages. You know what else I'm going to share? I'm going to share a lot more videos of me out in this beautiful place, and hopefully lots of others. I hope you've enjoyed it today. I hope the sound quality and everything's been alright, and the bumpiness of me walking. It's been a joy to share with you guys today, and I can't wait to do it again. Sending you all so much love from my heart to yours, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.